Hi, it's Allison Tandry of DIY Salvation. Today, I am proud to present a new 2025 edition of How to Do Level 1 of TROM, specifically recorded for the TROM Mastery course. Today's presentation is layman-friendly and optimized for listen only. We also have a video version on our Start Here playlist. If this is your first time watching, the resolution of the mind, also known as TROM, is a self-studied, self-applied method to handle your mental and spiritual condition. With it, you can relieve past trauma, end your inner conflicts, and unburden yourself of the guilt and anger over what you've done to others and what they've done to you. This all adds up to a happier, more authentic version of you. Many people who first learn of TROM get the idea that they need to study the entire subject before even starting to do the exercises. Some end up reading the book and listening to all the lectures, endlessly theorizing about it and talking about it with others, and never get around to even doing level 1. They think it's all too difficult. Despite our efforts here to make TROM accessible to the masses by clarifying nearly every last word of it. I used to wonder about this. I worried that maybe we hadn't done our jobs explaining TROM well enough. But considering the lengths we've gone to simplify this subject, I now have a better theory. Throughout man's history, the mind has lingered about as an unsolvable problem, a specialized category of study that only the most brilliant and educated can undertake. It's widely believed that if you are having problems with your mind, you need to see a psychologist or psychiatrist. Even in the subject of Scientology, a study that claims to eliminate the need for psychotherapists, L. Ron Hubbard warns that the mind cannot be fully handled by oneself, and one needs to see a practitioner at a Scientology organization to resolve it. So even then, all that's changed is instead of going to a medical office to see a psychologist or psychiatrist, one goes to a church to see another type of trained professional who has his own theories about how the mind works and insists you need his help in order to handle it. When Dennis Stevens claimed to discover a way to resolve the mind working by oneself, I am sure there were many who did not believe him, psychologists, psychiatrists, and Scientologists alike. And those who do believe him still think that they need to be an expert at TROM first before beginning this task. Also, there is the concern that there are going to be a minority of people that aren't in good enough mental shape to attempt such a feat as resolving their mind on their own. Now that is true. There is a small portion of the population that simply aren't up to the task. And that is why Dennis developed the exercises described in the chapter on Level 1 in his book, The Resolution of the Mind Games Manual. They are a test to see if one can go on to Level 2 without seeing a separate therapist. In this presentation, I am not only going to tell you how to perform the first exercises, but also some of the theory behind them and the reason why you need to do them before going on to Level 2. By the time you finish, you will know exactly what to do. No need to study the entire subject just to do Level 1. So let's just get on with it, shall we? You start with the process of creating things around you. You don't create actual objects. You put them there with your creative force as a being. Or in simpler terms, you could say you imagine them. You could call it a visualization exercise. It doesn't matter what way you understand it, as long as you can do it. You surround yourself with mental creations, then switch to surrounding yourself with creations as if someone else is putting them there. You alternate between the two activities until you are 100% comfortable doing both. When a conflict, upset, or overwhelm occurs in life, a mental mass forms. A mental mass is just a tiny amount of substance in your mind. The mental mass is of importance to the being. Dennis Stevens came up with a method of handling these masses called time breaking. You take some of this mental mass from the past, whether it's an object, person, or event, and view it simultaneously with the present. By viewing the past and present simultaneously, you break the illusion of time, thus the term time breaking. With time breaking, you can reduce the importance of these masses in your mind. The simplest form of time breaking is on level 2, where you view an object from the past next to an object in your present and compare the two. In comparing the object from your past to an object in the present, you de-intensify the effect of that past object on your mind. You diminish the mental mass. And that's all that's required. To give you an example, let's say a man was threatened with a knife sometime in the past. If he were to compare that knife to an object in the present, noting differences and similarities between the knife from the past and a knife in the present, he would not only relieve some past trauma, but would be more comfortable with knives he came across in his everyday life. That's an example for demonstration. Dennis Stevens found this exercise of comparing people and objects from the past to objects in the present an effective way to rid one's mind of a considerable amount of mental mass. But it posed a problem. Anyone who has a mind, that is to say, any human, has so many of these mental masses that he's not only gotten used to it, but actually believes he needs them. And because of that, when he performs the time-breaking exercises in TROM and rids himself of these mental masses, after losing some mental mass, he will attract to himself more harmful mental masses to fill that void, resulting in an unpleasant state of affairs. Dennis solved this problem with the exercise called repair of importances. You considered something from the past to be important. Through TROM exercises, you rid that something of its importance. You rid yourself of mental masses which you are used to having around yourself. You handle this with your own creations. You replace the mental mass lost with your own creations, which also have importance. I guess he could have just as easily called the exercise replacement of importances. This exercise also has the benefit of orienting you to your present environment. After all, if you're going to view the past and the present at the same time, you need to be grounded in the present. The repair of importances exercise, also known as RI, is repeated all the way through the entire TROM program. You do it at the beginning of a session, during the session, at the end of a session, and between TROM exercise commands. You also perform this exercise when you're having difficulty. Because you will do this exercise so often, it's of utmost importance to make sure that you can get results from doing it. If you try this exercise and get no results, we have a video you can watch on this channel on their Special Cases and Topics playlist. But even before that, you can try the alternate method of performing RI, which is a process of getting into physical contact with solids in your environment, which have a sort of importance of their own. That's the general idea. Let's get into specifics. I'll read now directly from the manual so you'll know the exact commands for this exercise. 1. Bring something into existence. 2. Have another bring something into existence. The first command is run over and over until there is no more change. Then the second command is likewise run. Then the first command and then the second command again until both produce no more change. The creation should be placed around you 360 degrees spherical. You don't have to do anything with the creations. The act of creation is sufficient. Quality of creation is far secondary to quantity of creation, abundance is of the essence. Though Dennis doesn't specify exactly how to place your creations in a 360-degree sphere around you, many Trommers will do something like create something in front of them, then behind them, to the left, right, above, and below them, and so on and so forth, covering as many angles as they can in a systematic fashion. There are alternate commands. Create something. Have another create something. The other alternative commands are create an importance, have another create an importance. Try each one of these command sets and see which you like best and use it for future RI sessions. It is not necessary to perceive one's creations. The certainty that one has created is sufficient. There's another class of RI called RI by perception. This is where the being repairs his scarcity of importances by increasing his contact with an existing importance in the present-time physical universe. He can repair his scarcity of importances by physically contacting such a solid, present-time physical universe object. Grasping such an object with your hands and feeling its solidity, temperature, texture, and so on will repair importance. Many who have difficulty with the creative RI commands will be able to use RI by perception. Any being who can only use RI by perception early on should from time to time during the levels have another go at the creative versions. Sooner or later, one will click, and thereafter should be used in preference to the RI by perception method. The only difference between the two methods is that in the creative version, the being is actually generating the importance. During the course of RI, you are going to feel some discomfort. Do not be alarmed if things like your eye starts to water, you feel some uneasiness in your stomach, or get a tired feeling, or numerous other possible sensations. You may experience emotional changes as well. This means the exercise is working. The wrong thing to do is stop the exercise when that happens. You must continue the exercise until all such feelings and sensations subside and you can comfortably perform the exercise. The action of shifting your attention out of your past and onto the present, as well as replacing mental mass you've lost during one of the later TROM exercises, is not always a pleasant one, but it is necessary in order to restore your mental balance rather than stuck in your mind or in the past. Now let's suppose I am trying TROM for the first time. I choose create something. I decide since I like cats, I create a cat in front of me, behind me, above me, and so on. I go through this series several times. I start to yawn a bit. I then continue until the yawning goes away, and when I am comfortable again, I switch to the second command and have another create something. Now, you can handle this any way you want, just as long as you have the concept that someone else is creating whatever it is you are putting in front of you, behind you, and so on. You can just put an object mentally in front of you with the idea someone else put it there. But many times, I like to actually visualize someone putting it there. For instance, I put a girl in front of me blowing bubbles. I put her all around me blowing bubbles, and during this, maybe my leg begins to shake. I continue until it stops. I continue until any other sensations, emotions, or reaction from the exercise subside, and I am comfortable once more. I switch back to the first command. I yawn a few times, it goes away, then I'm fine. I go to the second command. After several cycles of placing things around me, nothing happens, so I go back to the first command. And nothing happens during that either. Since I have performed both commands with no changes, I am finished with my RI session. Since I got results doing RI, namely yawning and leg shaking, I know the process works for me, and the next day I start on level 2 of TROM. Now, if the exercise did not stimulate anything and no mental, emotional, or physical reactions occurred at all, I could try a different command like bring something into existence or create an importance. If I try all 3 and nothing happens, I try to do RI by perception. I grab hold of, for example, a cup on my desk and hold it. I note how it looks, I feel its temperature, and so on. I may do this for a while. If I get a reaction, I continue holding it until it goes away. I can do this with other objects until I am comfortable doing the exercise and there are no more reactions. But if I try placing my hands on things and long periods of time pass and nothing happens, then I can conclude, after having tried both creative RI and perceptual RI, that I am going to need help, and that's what's on the video I mentioned before for those 5% who get no results from performing RI. Before doing this or any TROM exercise, make sure you have had sufficient rest, you are not hungry or in pain, and that you are not under the influence of alcohol or medications. You'll also need to have a place and time set aside where you can do this alone and undisturbed. The commands for these exercises are in the video description for your convenience. I recommend printing them and having them handy. Remember, RI is a test to see if you get results from doing it. And getting results from doing it, such as sensations and emotions surfacing and fading away again, is sufficient enough qualification for TROM Level 2. Now, before I go, I want to address some common mistakes made while performing the Repair of Importances exercise based on some of the correspondences we've received over the 2 years we've been doing this channel. I remember a dentist emailing me once telling me how he would get the idea of how important it is to brush one's teeth each day and surround himself with that while doing the exercise. Get that? He was surrounding himself with a thought, a belief. Well, while it is certainly important to brush one's teeth, that's not how one repairs importances in TROM. So I told him it would be better if he surrounded himself with mental creations of people actually brushing their teeth. He tried it. He got better results. Also, there's this wacky idea that if you start to get tired or feel dopey, you rub away this energy before continuing the exercise. This is wrong, and can potentially rob you of any benefits you'd otherwise get from the exercise. The whole point of doing RI is to let these sensations manifest and handle them by continuing to do the exercise. They are not some interruption to your session that has to be handled with some other technique. We tracked down some of these odd ideas and found their origin at the tromhelp.org website. This wasn't a huge surprise. One of the reasons we created DIY Salvation and BetterTrom.com is to handle the misinformation and mistakes on that website. That's all for now. If you truly want to master TROM, you're never going to without doing the exercises. So get to performing Level 1 as described in this presentation as soon as you possibly can. And don't hesitate to write us or leave a comment to let us know how it's going. We can be reached at tromguides@gmail.com or roger@bettertrom.com. I'm Allison Tandry. We are DIY Salvation. Don't just use your mind, resolve it.